order? This is Alex Lexus, aka the Juggernaut Bitch, coming at you with the head crush. And today is something new. We're doing a pilot program headed by T-risk, where we're going to be trying to add more content to the channel, to the show. So as we are here, this is going to be interesting because it might be an addition to lunchtime TV since we have sub shows within the main show. But T-Rex is going to spearhead this thing. I'm pretty much here for support in terms of facilitating the stream, and this is T-Rex's segment. So you take the wheel. You got this, bro.
All right. Well, new gaming oil followers. This is T-risk coming in for the assist, and yeah, you like that, huh?
Yeah.
And this is a new show that we're working on. It's called Hear Me Out, and what this show is, it's a bit of a discussion show, and I want not only Alex to help me out with this, but also you followers. So you on YouTube, on Twitch, if you're listening, feel free to just give us your opinion. So here's our first subject. This is what kind of spearheaded this entire thing. And our first subject is, well, I just want you to hear me out.
We're
Should we?
hearing you out.
Yeah, yeah. Sh- I really think Capcom should try to do their own kind of versus game again. And I say again because they have tried this two times already. Their first attempt was Capcom Fighting All Stars, and that didn't quite go well with people. And afterwards, they decided to try Capcom Fighting Evolution. And
I,
this
I
is a
like that
game
game. It wasn't that
this is a
bad.
game that actually came out. I don't really know how well it did, but from the people that I asked, they didn't really like it too much. It didn't have the kind of I guess you could say uh hold on people like CVS2 did. So
Well, I can add some information to Capcom Fighting Evolution. That game was like, as we were discussing before we went on the air, was pretty much like a Frankenstein together. And the fact of the matter is, the game, had it had more time, would have had more characters, would have been fleshed out a little more. The systems, you know what I mean? It just, like, how can I say, a glorified demo?
yeah,
So
it's more Mugen than most people put their time into Mugen.
yeah, yeah. If you like with the Mugen engine, if you really sit down like me and some of the other creators out there and put something, like even some of my Frankenstein projects that I just didn't have the time to, get everything in order. But when you verse that versus Capcom Fighting Evolution, some of our shit was better, like
Right.
way better. But in Ono's defense, because he pretty much was playing cleanup. The lead on that just dropped that project. Like, oh, I'm not doing this anymore, and it pretty much kind of like, oh, let's salvage what we can, And touching on Capcom Fighting All Stars. Looking at some of the video in the background, that looked like it had promise because it looked like it had sidestepping and everything. That could have been like a formidable rival to Tekken, you know?
It had potential, and I think most of its potential would have been the fact that it was primarily fighting game characters, like
Yeah.
specifically Capcom's fighting game characters. And this is what kind of has me down
Hmm.
because look 10 years like prior. The only Capcom fighting games we've really gotten a love has been Street Fighter and
And
to a
Marvel.
cer- to a certain extent, well, Marvel's another one, yes, and to a certain extent, Darkstalkers.
But Darkstalkers got played out because some people don't know. Ono was trying to petition Capcom to give him funding to do Darkstalkers game with the Street Fighter 4 graphics engine. Imagine Darkstalkers that looked like Street Fighter 4. You know,
Yeah,
at the time he
my
was camping.
opinion of it is that they did that thing entirely wrong because if you noticed, immediately when they showed off Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD, they showed off Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD was to just hold people off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
they didn't do that with Darkstalkers. They
well,
just
they did
threw out,
Darkstalkers Resurrection.
yeah, they
With
threw out Darkstalkers Resurrection, but they did throw out a Darkstalkers 4.
well, this is true, and you know what I think too. Capcom was looking at Darkstalkers being in the shadow of Street Fighter, obviously, and you look at if you were going to base like how you're going to forecast what the new interest for a Darkstalkers game off of an old title that was kind of obscure because Street Fighter and SNK games were always at the forefront. That was a bad move. They should have did a Darkstalker game. You know, just to see, you know what I mean? And if you had the team, for resources and whatnot, use the same team from, Street Fighter working on the Dimps engine, or their custom in-house engine. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's not above Capcom to use a port of an older game to
hmm
bring out interest in a new one later on.
Street Fighter Cross
They
Tekken being one
Street
of
Fighter
them.
Cross Tekken being one of them. They said that they did do it with Devil May Cry and DMC, but I don't believe that for one moment
Wait, say that
because
again?
you remember when they did the port of DMC Devil May Cry for PC and HD,
Yeah.
and they also did it for PS4.
Mmm.
Immediately afterwards, they showed off Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition.
Yeah.
And they claimed that, oh, the reason that these two games being out has nothing to do with trying to see how they compete with one another. We just
hmm
want to get the games out. I
Okay.
don't believe that for 1 second.
Uh huh. Oh, hold on one second. That's actually.
Hmm.
Let me put him on speaker. Mr.
Uh-huh.
Shinwo, how can I help you?
Who is this?
You interrupted me and T-risk doing a special pilot show and you on the stream too.
I'm getting off.
What you want?
I want a rematch.
What from
You
last?
can get a rematch later.
I'll name the designated place and the designated time so I can designate
Wow,
that.
T-risk. You know what? No comment.
Oh, and T-Risk, yeah, bring your Alex T-Risk. This ain't over neither.
He said it ain't over.
You say this like I
Shoulder,
trained
shoulder,
the
ear
guy.
grab.
He
I
said
want
you
a
saying it
rematch.
like he trains with him. Like, you know what? No comment. No comment. But Shinwar, if you get the chance, check out the stream. It's a pretty good topic. I think you will like it.
I can't do that because I'm out and about.
You
But
t-
you can
you-
call.
but yeah, well, he's twerking it out, and Tiri's like, oh, because you can call. What? No
Because,
comment.
I'm getting off.
All right, man. What's up? Everything good?
Everything's good, man.
All right, cool, cool. But yeah, once I'm done with T-Risk on this pilot show, I'll give you a ring.
All right.
All right. Whenever Shinwar calls, it's always funny. It's during the stream, fun stuff. Yeah, but yeah, you were saying before we got the call.
I don't believe Capcom for one moment when they say that they're not using certain games to bring interest into seeing if they should make a sequel.
hmm
Because
No, they did
basically,
say that for Darkstalkers. They did
they
say
did
like
say it for Darkstalkers.
yeah, but
But then there's times where they say, oh, that's not true at all. Because they threw out DMC Devil May Cry and
uh
DMC 4 Special Edition way too quickly to each other. Those games came out in the same year
you
with
know,
like
but the
2 or 3 months
DMC
between each other.
was Ninja Theory, and then you had freaking what was this the other Devil May Cry, which was the in-house
Yeah.
Capcom version, and I mean it's what it is. I know that they
And
said that, and Ono, or unless Ono was trolling us and said that's not true, you
then
know.
why did like 2 months later when we realized, oh, DMC 4 Devil May Cry Special Edition just blew up, that we see Johnny Young Bosch and Ruben Langdon in the suits for the 3D modeling.
Wait. They actually. Well, I know Ruben Langdon. He's a phenomenal martial artist. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
And Bosch from Power Rangers.
he had
That
to take it off his Twitter.
really.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know what? No comment. No comment. But this all boils down to there's just so much Capcom could have done, and financially, what got them into a lot of situations where they couldn't even make Street Fighter Five on their own without bending over and letting Sony go up there behind no lube. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
you look at some of the decision making, and I don't know who these investors are, but at the end of the day, I believe they screwed the fans because they don't care. They want their money. So like I think that Capcom, like, they used to take chances. Like, yeah, games like Power Stone, Onimusha, a whole lot of stuff. Now Capcom is being so cautious. Like, think of it like they're playing a fighting game and they're like playing real safe. And it's like, you know what? That's not exciting anymore. Yeah, it'll like get them buy. They'll make their bottom line and they survive. But Capcom was doing so much promise. I mean, so many of their franchises they don't even touch anymore. You know, and you see, it's
The
funny,
Twitter
like Mega
image is in
Man.
the Discord, by the way.
Oh, say that again.
The Twitter image is in the Discord, by the way.
All right, let me go ahead and put that for you guys to see. But while I'm working on that, yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on? I mean, they could have done so much. I mean, Power Stone, so many things they can do, man. Like they're screwing up
Right, right. Power Stone is another topic for
for
another
another.
day.
Yeah, because we'll be on that like all day.
I have something in particular about Power Stone.
Uh huh. Okay. No problem. No
But yeah,
problem.
let's go right back to the main topic I had, which was a Capcom versus Capcom style of game. And yeah, I definitely think they should do this because there's a bunch of Capcom fighters that just don't see the light of day. Like, sure, people want a Power Stone back or a Rival Schools back, or
Mhm.
even Darkstalkers. Rival Schools is an interesting one because people in that community are willing to like just say I would rather have them in Street Fighter Five right now than to get Rival Schools if it means that we can get a game later on.
Yeah, but it looks like there's hinting that possible rival schools maybe because at some point, I think one of the five new characters left for season two, one of them is gonna be a Darkstalker, not Dark, Rival Schools
Rival
character.
Schools character.
Because why would you say that? Oh yeah, Rival Schools and Street Fighter are in the same universe or same world. I'm like,
Right.
oh okay, same thing like
Um,
Final Fight and so on and so forth. You know what I mean?
it
Like,
wasn't. Oh no, it was someone else
Ayano-san.
that I believe so
Mm,
mentioning that Ibuki's outfit.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the outfit that the high schools in Hinata's school wear. It's the
Mm.
same uniform.
Mm, interesting. Well, hey, it remains to be seen.
Yeah,
You know.
and then you have Karen's beach stage, which has a bunch of them just showing up.
Yeah, they're
Um,
just chilling in the background,
Tifa's
like,
there. Tiffany's there. Not
yeah.
Tifa. Hinata's there. Uh, I think her name was Natsumi,
Uh,
the volleyball chick.
yeah. That's right. What's the one with the boxing gloves too?
Yes, that's Tiffany.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know their names. I just know them by the skimpy outfits and stuff. But anyway, continue to yours.
Right, and there's just so many that they don't use. Like the most we will ever see of Jin Satomi is probably a Marvel Infinite if he makes it there. But we won't probably see another Cyberbots. We probably won't see another Plasma Sword.
Oh my gosh. Hayato. Oh my goodness.
Right, right. Bliston, all those characters. I think one of them was like June.
Hmm. You know what? Would it be? out of Capcom's power to actually do something where they do a Capcom Vault, where re-release all their old titles via emulation, Xbox Live, PSN, Steam.
It's definitely possible for them.
Yeah, like, especially
Would
some of the
they ever
arcade
do
beat 'em
that?
ups. You know,
Probably not, because
it takes
it
money to port the stuff anyway.
it's
You
not
know.
just that. It would be better on them to separate all those games and eventually come out with them one after the next than to make a compilation package.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Fiscally, that would make. All right,
yeah,
I get
you
it.
could
I get
probably
it.
put both Slam Master games in one package, but
Oh, don't even get me started on
you're
Slam
not gonna get
Masters.
that. You're not gonna get that with Red Earth. You're not gonna get that with
Red Earth wasn't really like it was a great CPS3 game, but where was the exposure for it? Like in select
that's
locations
because that was more of like an experiment game.
that
People
never
always
touched
say,
a console.
yeah, people always say like, oh, fighting games don't have stories. Fighting games don't have a good story. But that game was nothing but a fighting game with a story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
You
know
like
what? And I think I have that too. I'll probably put that on the on the stream.
yeah, you have four
Oh,
characters to
you
choose out
just
of.
gave me an idea. Leo, Kenji, freaking uh
Leo, Kenji, Tessa, and Myling.
you know what? I think that they should be touching on one of those characters for Infinite.
I don't
Especially
see why you can't put all four. They're the only
man,
three characters.
oh my goodness, that would be sick. Sick, sick, sick. I mean, damn, T-Rex,
Unless you want to do like Leo and what's his name, Blade.
man, you know what?
Since that'll give you a hero and a villain. But otherwise, bring out all
Yeah,
four.
and that last boss was a beast in that too. Oh my goodness. So
It was just a beautiful game. Like, if anybody has never heard of that game, I recommend you just take
matter of
a look.
fact, I'm pulling some info so these guys can check it out. But yeah, Red Earth characters,
Yeah,
man. Let me tell you something. Red Earth, Power Stone. I mean Onimusha. There's just a lot they could delve on. Capcom has a wealth of franchises they can do stuff with.
yeah.
And bad decisions back them into such a corner where they couldn't even make, like I said, they couldn't make Street Fighter 5 on their own, and they admittedly said if Sony didn't, you know, or
Step in.
a matter of fact, if what I heard was correct, it wasn't even that Sony stepped in. Capcom was going, like, asking, like Microsoft, there was something that they weren't willing to do, and that's why, hey, you know what? Sony's like, okay, we'll do it. Street Fighter 5 exclusive.
Microsoft probably wants them to put a Killer Instinct character or a Halo character.
No, no, I think it's probably more so like Phil Spencer went on record to say there's some deals that go on. We can't make them all. So he's like, if we're gonna put money into something of that magnitude, we might as well put it into our own franchises. Killer Instinct, you know.
It's true.
So whatever Capcom was asking for, that I think was the reason. And on a side note, Double Dragon 4, the official sequel was
Yeah,
the
that was
franchise.
dropped.
Yeah,
I forget which one.
Technos. What is it? They're developing with Arc Systems. With Arc
Yeah,
Systems, who now has the
they
publishing rights.
actually got the original developers, which
Yeah,
is great.
yeah. So pretty much, but guess what? That's a PS4 exclusive in Steam.
Yeah,
I'm like, come on, man. Like, whatever. But
yeah. I think
that's that's
that should be a cross-play game, which is another topic for another time.
unbelievable. But it's third party. But this is gonna go into topics for the main show. But with that, I'm trying to put the Red Earth for those who haven't seen the game before. But
Yeah.
man, I tell you that I had fun with that game when I
Like for
actually.
anyone that thinks Street Fighter like Third Strike has beautiful graphics, beautiful animation, this is
No,
Just
it
give this
rivals
game a
that.
run for its money.
No, because it was using the same setup, so to
Right.
speak.
It's one of the, I think it's 4 games they use CPS3.
Yeah, yeah. The game looks amazing,
Game
amazing.
looks amazing. The soundtrack is beautiful.
Oh my god, man, the T-Rex with the fire. Oh my god, and it had the stage zooming and,
Yeah.
and whatnot. Matter of fact, I was actually introduced to the Warzard characters via Mugen because I didn't have like emulation or there was no arcade to play it. And here's the thing: if you have people showing off a game that they want to play, there is some demand for it,
Hmm.
right? And then they were like, "Oh, don't emulate our games. Don't do this. Don't do that." Well, make it available. Make it available. You know what I mean? And if you can't make it available, if it's just not in your financial priorities or budget, then do fan service and put them in like a versus game or something.
Yeah. Which
You know?
is the entire topic here.
Yeah. So
There's yeah, like there's even the untraditional type of fighters, which would be that kind of like Smash Brothers sort of category for most people. And
okay.
that's like Final Fight Revenge and Gotcha Force and Mega Man Power Battles, Power Stone. Uh,
Capcom. That's the example of Capcom's taking risk back in
yeah,
the day. They
Super
had,
Super Gem Fighter. Like you can't get that now. Like you
yeah.
crazy?
That's why a Capcom Vault would be great.
Yeah,
Oh, and you know what? What hit
you're not gonna
me
get Technomancer anymore.
and looking at Red Earth, like you actually leveled up as you were
Yeah,
going through the
it
game.
was it was a story-based fighter with RPG type elements.
Oh my gosh, they Capcom did some cool stuff with that. Matter of fact, if Thundercats ever got a fighting game, I would want it like Red Earth. You know what I mean? Have some sort of story, like you have Leo. Imagine what a Lionel would look like. Then you're facing up with Mumra at the end, and imagine the villains that can come up out of it. You know what I mean? Man, I tell you,
Either that or I want a platinum game.
well, Platinum and Arc Systems are on fire right now.
Yeah.
So I mean, well, very Guilty Gear and freaking games like Metal Gear Rising or whatever. But
Hmm.
before Konami turned out to be the shitbags that they are, um, or proven to be, they took risks. Look at what they did with Metal Gear Rising, a complete departure from what Metal Gear ordinarily is, you know,
Yeah.
and I feel that it met with a degree of success, because there's a lot of people that love it, me being one of them. I
Yeah.
like that fast.
I don't particularly like the story of Lords of Shadows, but I think they got that setting right.
Oh, where Gabriel Belmont in that world,
Right, right. Like I
it
think they got the
becomes
setting
Dracula.
right,
Hmm.
but the game itself, like its story, is what turned me away from it, and more so,
The sequel messed it up a lot. Like there
I
were some
think
good things and
I
some
think
bad things
that
about it.
DLC, which is like Asura's Wrath levels of stupidity for the first game.
Oh, what do you
Do
mean?
you
Like
remember that?
yeah, all the two episodes at the end that kind
Yeah,
of explain
which is
how he became the
yeah. If you don't play those episodes, you wouldn't be any wiser to like what happens at the beginning of two.
yeah, two. You're gonna be like, what the heck? They kind of like flesh it out like via flashbacks and dialogue, but
Yeah, but you really need to like go out of your way to play those two stories,
hmm. You know
which
what?
which
As
sucks
I'm
because
looking,
that should be like what older Castlevanias did is get the certain item, do the game 100%, play it on a specific difficulty, and you get the true ending.
yeah, 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 but that
It is
Asura's
what it
Wrath
is.
thing. Yeah, and I'm sure. I don't know if you saw my rant video on Asura's Wrath. I'm
I
like,
did.
oh my gosh, I was about to explode. But
I did. I my famous story was I pre-ordered the game and I saw that trailer for the True Ending DLC that showed up a week before the game came out, and I switched my pre-order to something else.
You saw Angry Joe, like
Yeah,
he did it worse than me. He freaking shredded Capcom like a cheese grater. It was some nonsense. But
and and they deserved that.
Hmm. Oh my gosh! You know what? Those in the stream or who will see this on YouTube, uh, man, that Red Earth that has some potential. That
It
has
definitely did. Sure, it was kind of like a contained story, and sure,
the character
like all
designs were pretty
all's
sick
well,
too.
all's well that ends well with that game. Like everybody's story ended on a good note, at least as far as I remember.
Well, in Red Earth, I think there was one
Yeah,
bad ending.
I know Leo's ended up
Kind of
being all right.
sucky. Yeah.
It
Well,
it was a hero's journey sort of story.
no, but it was kind of like a tragic thing too. Like, I didn't. I wanted him to get what he was seeking, but you know, I just wish that it worked out better for him. But you
Hmm.
see, those who like, if you're looking at it, the stream right now, I mean, what happened to that quality of gaming? You know what I mean? And just keep it simple. Like, there's talking about studios and graphics and all this other stuff. Like,
Yeah.
they're talking about labor. If you, let's say you made Red Earth in 3D or something, you
If
know
I
what I
made
mean?
it in 3D, well, for starters, me being the kind of person I am, seeing the state of Capcom,
Hmm.
I would make it a triple A game.
No, just make it a digital
Just
only.
yeah, did they forget about like Xbox Arcade and summer of PlayStation
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nintendo Indies?
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff came out of that, especially on Xbox. I would say.
The Summer of Arcade had a lot
Yeah,
of cool things come out of it.
I remember Hydro Thunder. I
Hydro
remember
Thunder
Castle.
was great.
Yes,
Uh,
I always wanted to play that, and I didn't have the space for it
mm-hmm.
because I
True.
didn't have a hard drive.
Uh-huh.
Um, uh, there was the Castlevania Harmony of Despair.
Oh, that's
Which
the multiplayer one, right?
yeah,
Okay.
that have you played that?
Yes, I have it.
Yeah, that game was pretty alright. It
Okay.
wasn't the Castlevania game that people really was looking for, but you couldn't say it wasn't a Castlevania game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
It
I
was just
think more
different.
more fan service, but I think right now the
Yeah,
state that Capcom is in.
once you see all the DLC for that game and like the extra characters and like just the callbacks to a lot of stuff, that
Mm-hmm.
is definitely a fan service game.
Yeah.
And Capcom needs to do something like that. Like, there's a reason why people like crave a Smash Brothers game when it comes out.
Hmm.
Like,
And if Capcom did their own mashup fighter, they don't have to worry about licensing and rights and all this other stuff. I
no,
mean,
they just
they
need
have
to
all the power in the world to make
that,
it.
like, well, there is like some people that in their own studio say like, oh, I don't want this character and I don't want that character. Like, for example, when Marvel's Capcom 3 was coming out,
Hmm.
the developer for Monster Hunter didn't want a hunter in the game,
Hmm.
and he more or less said it was because every hunter is unique. There is no real main character. It's not like Link
Hmm.
from The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, yeah,
So there is no specific class that is the main class. Like
yeah.
every game has a different weapon on the cover, a different armor on the cover.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's a great sword, sometimes it's a sword and shield, sometimes it's a lance. Sometimes there's multiple hunters on the screen at the same time on the picture.
Hmm.
So he did really want a character. And then on the flip side, when they wanted to get Dante, they said you're not getting Dante unless you put in Trish as well.
Hmm.
So that's why, like, I think they show up Trish first and then Dante.
Wait,
I can't quite
uh-huh.
remember.
Wait, say again.
Yeah, I can't remember. Did they show up Trish first and then Dante, or did they do Dante first?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
I can't
I guess
remember
I'm getting a
either.
little old. Um.
It wasn't something that really mattered to a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people, like myself included. So that's all right.
Yeah.
And like come Ultimate, I guess Virgil was just a bonus.
Well, yeah. I think Virgil was
And
done
what do we
all
have down
along.
here?
I think he was done all along, and
We
it
have
just.
a guest, NYC Playboy.
Well, yeah. Say again. I had a sound effect pop up in my ear.
we have a guest here, NYC Playboy.
Um, Hello.
Hello.
Well, I'll let T-risk let you in on what we're discussing on this pilot show. This is his idea to kind of offset like the loss of lunchtime TV, which is just on hold. But you got the floor, T-risk. Um, but Playboy, you've been watching the discussion, so you'll be able to jump right in.
Yeah, I'm just here to say, hey, you know,
You know what?
Fair
We're,
enough.
we're
Fair
gonna.
enough.
All right. So with that, get some more footage of Capcom Fighting All Stars. I just think that the Capcom that we once knew is long gone.
Definitely, definitely. And
And
like this, a Capcom versus Capcom style game is probably the best way they can like bring out interest.
hmm
That is not a Marvel versus game because it seems like now Marvel versus games are a fight for space. You want like for me personally, like look at me. I wanted X. I couldn't get X in Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Now, he's an infinite.
hmm
Even so, that doesn't mean I don't want Zero in there as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And, oh, okay, we have another guess. All your knees.
Okay. Well, for I'm glad we're getting guests, but for time, as we were saying, we're gonna start, winding down. And if there's anything extra, after the fact, we could do that.
Hmm.
But yeah. So T-Rex, in conclusion, like,
Yeah.
what would you
In
like
con-
to see Capcom doing with some of these other fighters?
I just need a Capcom versus Capcom style game. I need like a Capcom Fighting All Stars Revival or a Capcom Fighting Evolution 2 and just use that as an entryway to like show people what older Capcom fighting games used to be,
hmm
because like a lot of the generation like after me, has no clue what a lot of these fighting games look like, let alone how they play,
Yeah.
what those characters were,
hmm
and sure you see hints of them in either uh like in Street Fighter 4, Sakura saying that she needs to call Karen,
hmm
and like Marvel's Capcom 3 when they had all those different characters showing up in characters' endings, if people even bothered with that.
hmm hmm
But yeah, this is what I need. Like Capcom Fighting Evolution literally showed off the evolution of their fighting games.
Yeah, I
Maybe
agree.
maybe not in the best way
hmm
for a lot of people, and maybe not in the best designed,
hmm
and surely not in like money involved of how much like they spent on it.
hmm But I
Because
think too, what now, if that a game of that caliber would have come out, it would be great. It'd be
yeah.
phenomenal. And I think they were just limited by the technology of their time. And with you know working in 3D, you can pretty much see your vision. It's all in the effort that the company is willing to put.
Hmm.
So I mean, man, there would have been that would have been some potential. And if you look at now with the game coming out now, let's say they do a fight Capcom Fighting All Stars and they just do a base set of characters like they're doing with Street Fighter 5, or what really laid the foreground for it was Killer Instinct.
Hmm.
As time progresses, put the other characters from different franchises, make it interactive. Capcom tweeting, or Shoryuken.com forums, or just take a poll who's going to be the next character type thing. Design the
Yeah.
game in such a way where it would be easy to create a model, put some textures in there, move sets, things of that nature, and just do it like once a year or every 6 months or something. Like, just keep it evolving. You know what I mean? And I think that would generate some interesting interest for older franchises. And then if the interest is great enough, like you were saying earlier, give them their own game again. You
Yeah,
know?
you
Uh,
use that as the advertisement instead of like throwing out the older game, clearly knowing that people don't
Don't know
want to
it.
buy a fifth iteration of an older game or don't even know what this older game even is,
It's
and and not getting the clue that people don't want the older game again. They
hmm
want a new game.
hmm I agree. I agree. Good stuff in conclusion. So with that, New Gaming Order, make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. Check us out on newgamingorder.com for the latest and greatest. I want to thank T-risk for taking the initiative and actually getting me off my butt to take care of this in support of him. The staff is always welcome to do some things of this nature. And if once we get T-risk up and running to stream on his own, I mean, I'm pretty sure you'll see a lot more of this. It'll be pretty good stuff. All right, so um, this has
Thanks for
been
hearing me out.
yes. So this has been New Gaming Order, hitting you with the head crush and juggernaut punches and pimp smacking your ass. We're gonna see you next time. Peace.